All right, and we're back. So here we are with the Ask Cryptic. I'm going to be reading the questions and Dan Stahl's answer, and we're going to go over these one by one. So settle in, folks. This could be a while.
Yep.
So starting off, Black08567 asks, I love Stowe and all the ships, but I'd like to see more Klingon ships. Any chance of getting a bundle or maybe a Negvar retrofit? Dan Stahl's answer was, while the KDF will get access to the new ships being released in the Dominion lockbox later this month, the next Klingon-specific ship is a brand new design that will be released in both a Tier 3 and Tier 5 version around our 3-year anniversary. Thoughts?
Fuck you. We're not going to spend any time doing anything for you. Obviously, we don't care about you, and the only thing that matters is the Fed side. That sound good?
Nah, I think they're just showing off the new ships on the anniversary next month, man.
Which are cool. If you've seen the Klingon ship, it's looks like a D7, like an upgraded D7. Really like the skin on it. And the Ambassador, I really, really am wanting to fly it because, hell, it looks pretty. Although I want the Probert model. I saw that one recently, and oh god, I'd rather have that one.
The Ambassador actually looks pretty close.
If you look, the non-Probert version, it looks almost exactly like, 30 seconds of screen time or 2 minutes of screen time that it got in yesterday's Enterprise. And they got Denise Crosby to do it, which, I mean, that's really awesome that they got Denise Crosby in to voice Sella again. Now they just need Michael Dorn. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it.
Michael,
I guess he didn't say anything when he did the Worf bit, did he? When Worf was in here last year, I guess he didn't say anything, did he?
No.
No, he didn't.
Okay, so let's see.
Well, those are just my thoughts. What about everybody else's thoughts?
Yeah, and input thoughts.
I'm wondering where they take it. I'm not holding my reservations on that one. I think the ship shit is cool.
They didn't say it was going to be the only Klingon ships, just the next you would see. So.
Very true.
And if
Very
it's
true.
D7, that's even better.
Yeah. I'll off topic. I'll send you a link to the picture of it.
Thanks.
Okay.
No problem.
So next one, Draven1907 asks, "What's on the menu for Stowe in 2013 and especially Season 8?" Daniel Stahl answered, 2013 is going to be a very busy year for Stowe when it is said and done. Season 8, releasing in the first half of 2013, will focus on adding new missions and storyline to the game in the form of a new adventure zone, new episodes, and another big feature, which is yet to be revealed. We also have Season 9 scheduled to launch in the second half of 2013. In between all of that will be additional updates, new ships, a few new features, and perhaps a mid-year event before next year's winter event. All I can say is we've kind of heard those promises before.
I think he said that in every Ask Cryptic that he's ever done. But, I mean, judging from Season 6 and 7, 5, in a sense 5, but for the two major season updates, well, there were 3, but we'll go 6 and 7. My thoughts on 6, great addition, a lot more grinding, which I didn't like, but overall, great season. They basically lived up to what they said they were going to do. Season 7, major disappointment when it started. A lot better after they got their heads out of their asses.
Yeah, at the tail end, I'm a lot more happy with Season 7 than I was when it started. But what I'm saying is, like, I've kind of heard... we've all kind of heard these, like, Daniel Stahl, especially Daniel Stahl, promising the world. I remember, and Veculus read about this earlier, I remember, like... Yeah. A long time ago, there was supposed to be like a Gorn-centered featured episode series, like around the time of Season 4.
Yeah, remember that we were supposed to get. I think it was. I was watching a Stoked from a while ago.
It was going to be like 2 featured episode series a year, is what he was saying.
No, it was 5 featured. It was supposed to be half. Because I remember this specifically. Half the year was supposed to be featured episodes. So they said 5 major featured episodes in 2011, and we didn't get one till February of 2012. Wait, was it February of 2012 when we got the 2800? Which was promised in February of like 2011, or March or May of 2011. So that again, that's my thoughts on it. Only mine.
I know we started hearing about like a Deep Space Nine featured episode series like sometime mid 2011.
Yeah, but
Everybody,
your guys'
everybody kind of knew it was gonna revolve around Deep Space Nine, like ever since Cloaked Intentions. Though everybody just kind of figured that's where they were going for the third one.
Which I thought was a great one, but no, again, those are my thoughts. Deez, Fred, and Vaculus, what are your thoughts on it?
It's a nice promise.
Oh,
I
believe
can remember, I don't believe shit until I see it on test.
I agree with him.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm still waiting on a Dreadnought upgrade.
Oh yeah, I thought we were supposed to have like separation in like early 2011.
Yeah, well, they even said it would be in the next couple of months, just a couple of months ago. I'm like, okay, whatever, dude.
Sure, Bob. Sure, Bob.
What was the
We'll believe it
deal?
when we see it.
Like the animation wasn't working properly, so they decided to like put a halt on it. That was sometime around like the
Yeah, but then they
800.
showed the pictures of it. I think it was Gecko on Twitter showed the picture of
Gecko
the
or Logan?
Dreadnought separating in like early September. But another glaring bug. The 2-year anniversary was what 2-3 weeks ago for the glitch that was supposed to be fixed before season 4, the cloaking glitch.
Well, that's working as
Cloak glitch,
intended
yeah.
now.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. D-Stall rewriting history, working as intended.
Yeah.
Completely forgot about that.
He came out and said
It's a
that.
feature.
Yeah, it's a feature. I think those were almost literally his words.
No, it was. That's literally, in essence, what he said.
All right. So this one kind of follows off of that. Lauren12 asks, will there be new featured episodes? Or not featured episodes, mind you, but will there be new episodes anytime soon? Daniel Stahl answers, there is a new episode coming at the end of January for the 3-year anniversary of Stowe. Probably not what he was asking. And then the bulk of the new episodes will come with Season 8 and beyond.
Again, that's, I mean, my personal opinion, that's just his great spin doctoring of anything he says. I mean, I'll believe it when I see it.
It wouldn't shock me if it happens, but it also wouldn't shock me if it was later or, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We kind of been, like, I think a lot of people who play this game have been kind of let down a little bit too much.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are just wising up to what Daniel Saul says is, I mean, he knows what he's saying. He's great. He expresses what he means, but sometimes I just really think he's talking out of his ass.
It's
Well,
kind
yeah.
of his job.
That end of January there, I mean, we're kind of at the end of January, so
Yeah, but
hurry that up.
Well,
the 2-year anniversary is the 2nd or
Yeah,
the 10th of
it-
February.
yeah, it's the
So
anniversary
I was
of the game's
thinking
release.
he just kind of goofed and meant, unless it's like a 2-week thing, they might do the 2 weeks.
Or
Of-
maybe that's when it's going to show up on tests.
Yeah, so it'll probably, I'm guessing the next patch, which would be the end of February, or the end of January, the 31st, will probably show off the new featured episode, or at least throw it on test. But,
That's literally the end of January.
yeah, I mean, that's probably what he meant, because, again, the 2-year anniversary is February 2nd, I believe.
yeah. So it's going to be that week.
Yeah,
is when
for
it
sure,
shows
it's
up.
going to be that week.
So we're probably going to see, like, within this week or the next, we're going to be seeing either
Yeah.
that either hit Tribble, or at least hopefully hit Tribble.
Yeah, I really want to get my hands on. I in all honesty, I just want to see the layout of. I really hope they don't break the layout of the ship, because I think they might, and really make it a super tack-oriented ship when it shouldn't be. It's, this is really before any This
Well-
was before like any major there were no major conflicts going on when this ship was.
Well, there was hadn't they just encountered the Cardassians, or they were like getting close to encountering them?
I'm not entirely sure, but I'm almost from what I've seen, didn't it respond to a Klingon colony?
Yeah, it responded to a Klingon distress call, but you have to remember is this is back when they were still wearing the monster maroons, This was back when Starfleet was a lot more militaristic than it was in the Next Generation.
Yeah, very, very, very true. So, it might be tech heavy, but I'd also like to see it sci heavy because I don't know. It just seems like it would fit the ship, but again, we won't know probably for a couple days.
Well, it's going to be really simple. All the Anniversary 3 ships are to be a generic crap version of it, and about 3 months later, we'll be able to buy a science and engineer and tactical version of them, just like Season 2.
Or it'll end.
I don't think
and
they're
the
going to
free
do
version will
something
end
like
up in
the
a
Odyssey.
fleet shipyard eventually.
I just seeing how the Vesta went over. Like, I was really, for as overpowered as the Vesta is, I was really expecting to see them everywhere like the Odyssey. But in all actuality, compared to when the Odyssey launched on the C-Store, I haven't seen too many Vestas. I've seen maybe like 20 or 30 of them. And like,
I think your observation's off on that slightly because there is no free Vesta version.
Yeah.
Right now, a bunch of people run the normal Odysseys and aren't running the upgrade version.
No. But I'm telling you, when that ship hit the C-Store, I'd say 1 out of every 2 ships was an Odyssey. And I don't mean just the free version. I mean the paid version as well. Like, there were a lot.
Out is all the lockbox ships that showed up for dirt cheap on the exchange.
Yeah, that doesn't help. And honestly, the mirror ships are the best idea Cryptic has done in a while, because they're 120,000 for the normal variants, of 1,000 dilithium for the normal variants. You can still pick up one of the mirror cruisers, which have been out of circulation for what, 3-4 months now. They're still like $400,000 or $500,000.
Some of those ships are going for like $80K.
Oh yeah, the science vessels are incredibly cheap.
I just like to
The
clarify
KDF
he
ones
means
are
energy
really
credits
nice
and not
alternatives
dollars.
to the KDF line too.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
They need
the mirror
because
wrap
there's the
is a
chips
really
on the
good ship.
C-Store.
And I called it. I knew it was going to be a mirror Voku, but I really like the fact that they actually are helping people out. Like, I mean, I know a lot of people that bought a cruiser when they leveled up. And as TAC officers, you can really fly a cruiser very well. Don't get me wrong. But a lot of people want to try an escort out, and most people don't have 120,000 dilithium laying around. And now that the mirror escorts are on the exchange, especially as many people that are opening these Dominion lockboxes, they're probably going to be in the $30,000 and $40,000 range in a couple months, because they're freaking awesome ships, and they're not 120,000 dilithium. And I think anybody that wants an escort should really get a mirror, one of the mirror ones.
Well, while we are on the subject of the Vesta, Tipai99 asks, will there be a fleet version of the Vesta? What about the new ships you guys design yourself? Will there be more possibilities to create your own ship? Dan Stahl answers, we haven't made a final decision on the fleet Vesta, but it is one of the ships we are considering for a fleet refit. We do have several new ship designs in the works, along with some older designs from both the TOS and Enterprise era. One of our long-term goals is to allow fleets the ability to customize and or create their own ships, but we want to make more customization parts for existing ships before we implement that.
Okay, this is a really good point, and one that I was actually reading up on. If they mean a fleet refit version, which means the 20,000 plus 4 if you don't own it, that means they need to make a fleet Odyssey as well, because you're not going to upgrade the ship that's already supposedly a fleet ship, because it has 10 consoles, a ridiculous 1.4 shield mod?
1.5.
I mean, no, it's not that high. If it's 1.5, oh wait, it's got a really low hull. Let's see, ships. Gotta look up the Vesta, because oh damn it. If it's 1.5, that means you'll give it a 1.6 shield mod. Good luck ever ripping those shields apart. It is a 1.35. So you'd end up with a 1.45 shield mod and 30,000 hull on that ship stock. That's pretty overpowered, if you ask me. And I mean, they can't give it 11 consoles because that'd be fucking stupid. But if they mean a free version of it, I'm all for that. That'd be really nice to have a free 200,000 just to try the Vesta out. Like the Odyssey. You know, if you don't like the Vesta, then don't trip. You don't have to buy one. But if you like the Vesta, I don't know, good return on investment. If a lot of people are like, oh wow, this thing is a monster, let me go buy one. Again, my opinion on it. Oh, and the Aquarius sucks balls.
Oh, did you not like it, man?
Oh god, it's a bop without a cloak.
No, that was the point of it.
And no universal consoles. It's worthless. It is worthless. God, I hate that piece of shit.
Tell me how you really feel.
Warn Harley about
mince
that before
words.
she cries.
I did. You can't do anything with it. Without a cloak, it's just impossible to do anything. That thing needs a cloak bad. Because with the Mako adapted and whatever other thing. Now I had the non-fleet variant. I only had like 28,000 hull in that bitch. On an Elite STF, that's like shredded paper.
Well,
You're toast.
While we're speaking of STFs, Hoot Gibson asks, it's easier to get Mako or it... tongue-tied. It's easier to get Mako or Omega gear now. What are the chances of seeing legendary or epic items in Stowe in the future? Very rare and loot only. Daniel Stahl answers, we plan to increase the level cap in the future so that captains will be able to obtain the full Admiral rank. As part of that change, we will be introducing a new tier of gear, along with new very rare and ultra rare items that are loot only. That said,
I 1 bajillion% on Fred. That is the stupidest idea ever. Unless you're
get rid of all this bullshit of having to never get loot drops.
Wait for it. That said, we are going to be releasing more reputations with new gear associated with them as well. But we understand that some players still want to get lucky and find that very rare item that no one else has found yet. We won't lose sight of that as we move up in ranks.
Okay. I'm gonna wait for my answer, and I'm gonna let everybody else answer first.
I have one of the rarest items in the entire game, and it's never been upgraded. It's not comparable for anything in the game, and I'm really fucking sick of them adding shit that, just doesn't have any playability to it. You know, they're gonna make it where nobody can get this shit. A bunch of fleets are done fight over it because nobody gets it ever, and it's just done cause a lot of headache in the game, which made it suck where I had to run 600 missions for a Mako set in the first place.
God damn it, Infaculous.
I'm sorry.
3 weapon techs in a row, really?
Okay, so this is oh wait, I'm waiting. Deez, what's your opinion on this?
Some of them ought basically be the equivalent of a normal item, but maybe a cosmetic, unique look to it, especially on some ground weapons and stuff. Or basically be the same stats as some other stuff, but you could grind it out and try real hard to get this one that looks pretty.
It's kind of a running joke between me and Invaculous. Well, back before the changes in Season 7, when you had to just grind like crazy, just like, especially Cure Ground, where you just had to like go through Cure Ground Elite over and over and over again, on the off chance of getting this weapon tech, and he would just keep getting the weapon tech, and every time I would get pissed. I was like, damn it!
So
I took a guy, I kid you not, I took a guy on Kidama Record Ground, and for a week straight, running it 4 or 5 times a night, he got it every single frickin' drop. No longer even plays the game.
So
some of that stuff needs to be not a specific mission you have to do it on, but a specific enemy type could drop the nice item.
Okay, so this is my point on this. If it has absolutely no... as long as it's not weapons, I'll be okay with it. If it's, like Dee said, a really awesome looking armor piece, ground weapon, I'm cool with that. Even if it's... But it can't be something that affects what people play in PvP in this game. Not that it really fucking matters anymore, but you can't have this uber loot shield or, you know, God forbid, an accuracy X4 weapon, or they can't fuck up the balance more than they already have with with the lockbox ships, with ships like the Vesta and the Odyssey. Well, the Odyssey's really not that great a ship, in all honesty.
This game has balance?
The Vesta is broken. I mean, there are builds where you can outdamage pure attacks in a Vesta. In you know, a really well-built tack like myself in a fucking science ship. That is, in a sense, really, really stupid. But
well, it just depends on if you think tactical should be the highest damage in the game, or if you...
I think they should be the highest weapon damage, like cannons and shit. I just think that this game needs to be balanced away from escorts.
Well, the way you do that is you make tactical officers more than just dealing damage. You make them about actual tactics.
Yeah, but going back to the actual point of this, I'd be happy with Epic Loot as long as it's cosmetic only and doesn't have a super advantage over somebody that doesn't have it, because God forbid they get this weapon that just breaks the... You know, you don't want somebody to have a OMFG cannon that will turn a engineer inside out.
I'd even be okay with having a slight stat bonus, as long as
like
have to run the same mission over and over, but can get it from a specific enemy type, like, you know, this upgrade
the Borg,
versus
the
drops the Borg, or this one gives you a bonus versus Klingons can be picked up by killing a whole bunch of bird of preys, or whatever.
Yeah, like, I would be cool with it, like, just... as
something that's an end of STF only drop, or something like that.
You know what? Going to that, not a stat bonus upgrade, but a special effect that it has. Like, say a phaser array that has the 4 modifiers, but has the chance to heal your shields, like the Elite Fleet weapons. Now, we don't have those yet, so that might be the ability of the Elite Fleet weapons, or a phaser that not only knocks down a subsystem, but knocks down all the other subsystems by 20 power, like Polaron Beam.
That would be
or has an extra effect. Not so much this ridiculous damage bonus or accuracy bonus, but an awesome effect. Maybe it has a unique color when it shoots an epic weapon.
Hold on.
But it,
just a second.
Yeah, a beam array that's an extra beam array.
Yeah, that'd be kind of awesome.
Or
fire an extra beam.
Or a 360 beam array.
360 beam array would be a game breaker.
That'd be awesome, though. So
Look at how much the kinetic beam is as like a beam turret. You go.
Oh yeah, you know they buffed
beam with that.
You know they buffed it, right?
Yeah, I saw.
Mine does 1100 DPS.
I actually switched some of my characters over to the kinetic stat bonus just because of that.
Oh god. It is so... My multi-vector... This is a great build if you have either the MVAE or the Fleet MVAE, is the full Borg set and that kinetic cutting beam. And if you want, go all Borg with both 3 pieces. Oh, it's so broken. Gravity Wells... Oh god, I love that ship.
So how about this? How about this as an idea? Every time you have... And this is me going back to like Phantasy Star Online when this sort of stuff would happen. This is just how the game worked. Is every time you encounter a Klingon Sword Master, the game has like a rough percentage chance of spawning a Klingon Honor Guard. And you beat this guy, and they will maybe have a chance to drop like this physical augmentation armor that will buff like Batleth damage specifically.
That's kind of what I mean. Like, especially people that do the missions on Elite. I still think that if you're running some of the really harder missions on Elite, you should be able to get a chance at one of these, like, ultra rare weapons. But if you're going to add them to endgame stuff, don't make it a loot drop. Because you make it a loot drop, all of a sudden you will have fleets that won't play with each other because they don't want to... You know, if us five get together, well, we have one more person, and we run a mission, and
That's fine
this
with us.
this ultra elite weapon comes up, you don't think that we're all gonna fight over it, and who gets it we're all gonna be mad at, or we're all gonna be like, damn, that sucks, why didn't I get it?
Just that
As long as it...
There's a really good way to solve that.
round robin.
You don't even round robin it. You build 5-man teams, like we're all pretty close. You give it to the weakest person in the group first.
Alright, so Inveculus always gets it. Got it.
Well,
Oh,
only the
come
first
on.
time around, and then that bumps them out for the next time on any of the loot drops in that
No,
group.
actually, that's actually a good idea. Like, have it where, if us five, because we do play together, or, well, if we have one more person, like Jaeger, and we all play together, we'll say, alright, let's give Jaeger it this time, and next time, 4 of us, Gran will get it. You know, that's fine with me, but, you know, you'd only have to be playing with people you really like or are close to for that to happen. Because
I don't doubt that.
What says
There's
that...
another ridiculously simple way to deal with it, and that's what Dungeons and Dragons Online did. Whereas if you beat one of the special bosses and checked the chest and the special item was there, everybody in the party got that item from that chest.
That'd be even better, but no way Stowe does anything smart like that.
No.
Well, hopefully they did.
I think I'd prefer it more if there was an actual mission to get it, like the Harpangs.
Not so much that, because that's, like you said, a loot-only thing. But, again, that'd be nice that they added some decent gear to some missions.
Oh, here's your
Well,
idea.
it would be nice for them to do class-specific kits again, like they did in the old SPFs.
Oh, yeah, like the Borg Medical Analyzer. I don't know what the
And let people loot them as a group, and then people in the group can shuffle it off to whoever gets it.
The Harpangs made me think of this. Why not have some special gear you can only get from DOF missions?
Okay, I'd love that for the Harpang. I really want a Mark 12 very rare version. Why is there no DOF mission?
There is. It's on the KDF site only.
Yeah.
That actually does make sense. Never mind.
Yeah, 'cause they're the ones
there's
that
a
made it.
MK12 KDF rare Harpang.
Well, now the feds have
And
to
it's
buy them.
fucking
So.
boss.
Yeah, I
There
know.
needs to be some DOF missions for investigating weapon techniques or whatever that can give you a special weapon that's not something that normally drops as loot.
And
What
if
you're saying is they need to have DOF missions that give you loot you'll actually use rather than sell.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So
And
next question.
And just one last thing. If you're going to attach these like to the ends of missions, then they're just, again, I keep saying that they should do more of this. Do what you did with Hearts and Minds. Just make a play in one act explaining how you come across this thing and how you come in possession of this object or piece of equipment, whatever it is. And maybe even like take the opportunity to do some world building and fill in some jargon or backstory for whatever it is that you found to sort of like make it a little bit more real for the like an object for the player.
Yeah,
Oh, you mean like everybody thought we were going to get the Romulan Vulcan sword from the Romulan missions?
God, why did we not get the sword of the Raytor Star? That thing looks boss.
And that broke Inveculus's
I'm kind
heart.
of pissed off at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were all pissed, I think. All right, what is the...
They'll probably add that sword when they add the playable mini Romulan faction. Whatever.
Probably. So, next question. Stowe Jonathan asks, any chance of seeing the Enterprise JN game? No!
Do we even need to talk about this? Can we just skip this question?
I would
drive it just for you guys.
Hey, I saw the Enterprise Z the other day. It was pretty cool. It was a Mobius.
Oh, that's awesome.
Daniel Stahl. Unfortunately, there is very little chance that you'll see the ship in game due to its massive size. Also, because it shouldn't exist.
It doesn't exist. Enterprise never happened. What are you talking about?
It is too big in comparison to other ships and would cause issues with gameplay. That doesn't rule out the possibility of seeing other Enterprise ships between Enterprise F and Enterprise J, though. Okay, I'm just going to go right here, and I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here and say, I fucking hate the Enterprise J. I hate it and the horse it rode in on. Because
and the big white horse it rode in on.
Nothing about the Universe class. That's the class that the Enterprise J is. It's called the Universe class. Nothing about this fucking ship makes any kind of sense. And I know that some people could say, like John Eves posted, that it's a technology that's like far off in the future. It's so far above ours that we can't make sense out of it. You know what? That might be a little bit true, but that doesn't stop a lot of things about this ship from being, in retrospect, completely fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like, for example, take the nacelles. If you have the technology to make these nacelles like so sturdy that you only need like these little toothpicks basically holding them, if you have materials that powerful, why not make it 10 times more sturdy and make that connection more solid?
Right? Built the whole ship out of that.
Yeah. I mean, the reason it pisses me off so much is because, okay, well, remember in TNG, the Enterprise D had families on board, and they sent this ship to confront the Borg. They sent it across the neutral zone into Romulan space, and the writers themselves confessed to always having like this pit in their stomach whenever they wrote that, because it just didn't work, and they didn't have the budget to constantly separate the ship like the ship was designed to do, because the saucer is a lifeboat for all the non-combatants. They couldn't do that, so every week they ended up sending like these families and children into harm's way, and eventually they just abandoned the idea because it made no sense.
Yeah, like the only time you'd understand families on board ships of exploration are when it's these 7-year missions at peacetime.
Okay.
Which is understandable. Of course, even our modern Navy during peacetime have cruises with, aboard the carriers. We have cruises where, because these things can comfortably fit 10,000 people.
They're
These things
floating
are
cities,
massive.
yeah.
They're
Tiger cruises where they take the family
Yeah,
back.
I've been on a Tiger cruise. They're 7-day cruises. They're amazingly fun. And, at peacetime, it makes sense. Wartime? Fuck no. You're not going to have families aboard a frontline vessel.
But here's the thing.
You need balance.
Here's the thing.
Oh, that's terrible.
Here's the thing about it, though. The Universe class supports its own fucking civilization. Like, it has a crew of like 10,000. It has its own like Starfleet Academy on board. What the hell do you do with all of those non-combatants? Just moving a few thousand people is this massive logistical nightmare in the Star Trek
now you're talking
universe.
10,000 people. I mean, and to think, you see how big my Jem'Hadar ship is. This thing is not small. It's like 4 of those wide.
Yeah.
And like 6 of them long.
Not even. It's bigger than that.
It's what?
It's a starbase with nacelles.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. That's basically what it is. So, no.
Imagine how many missiles that could shoot.
Shut up.
And
Ridiculous. No.
You rip the top off the starbase.
How many bioneural warheads can you put on that thing?
Imagine the Parfait.
The only way that fucker could be in game is it has like 36 commander slots, 87 weapon slots, has a turn rate of like 60.
0
I
turn rate.
completely disagree. It could totally be in this game.
Have it a location
Well, the thing is, it shouldn't even exist. Here's the thing.
I want one.
You guys are missing it. It needs to be in an STF. It needs to be the new Mirror Universe cruiser coming through, and it needs to be 5 people versus it, so it could fuck up a team for a day.
That would be the most awesome thing ever.
I would love blowing that
big
thing
enough
up.
that you could be in like your dreadnought flying on it and be dwarfed by the size of the monster.
But see, there's another thing. I was actually looking up the size of the Jem'Hadar Dreadnought that they have in game, and it is wholly wrong. This thing is 5,000 meters long.
What? You know what? Actually, I thought it could be it would be actually be a cool mission to have as a shuttle mission. Like the whole map could be the Enterprise J or whatever ship it is.
Walking on the hull.
Yeah. Targetable in sections.
Yeah, it would be almost like Star Fox, almost. But
like
you'd have to have like a coordinated like shuttle team fighting it.
Another really cool idea for shuttle missions, because shuttles are awesome. I really want into like a Borg tactical cube, because from what I've heard, these things they are so wrong in-game scale-wise. These things are 9 cubes tall, 9 cubes deep, and 9 cubes wide.
I want to see a Borg fusion cube in the game is what I want to see.
Oh no, that's the one that I'm thinking of, is the fusion cube. You know what? Go fuck yourselves. We're gonna blow you up. We don't like you anymore.
The Voltron Borg cube.
You form the legs, and I'll form the head.
Oh god, that'd be fucking awesome. But again, no Enterprise J. No Enterprise J. None of us want to see it in game.
Okay.
That thing can go fuck itself with a rusty cat.
I think if it's in game, it needs to be a mirror universe boss.
The thing is,
me.
the thing is, the future in which it existed was prevented.
Yep.
Like when the Enterprise blew up the sphere builders, so that ship technically shouldn't exist because now it's a wholly different timeline. And aside from that, if you want to introduce the Enterprise J, the way you do it is the Federation has become so advanced and so arrogant that they've built this flying disaster waiting to happen and get completely curb stomped by something.
I'm sorry, but the first time that thing goes to warp, its nacelles are going to go forward, and the ship is going to be sitting there.
Well, the way Eves
it works for the
described it.
SDF-1 in Robotech.
The way Eves described it was they were actually folding space, but the graphic shows them at warp. So,
but I going back to this whole canonical issue, isn't warp 10 technically impossible? Because I remember this really, really terrible episode that I'm not going to name of a series which I formerly shut up of a series that I formerly loved,
Voyager.
but thanks to SF Debris, I can no longer love. Because he's pointed out how stupid that show is. Apparently Warp 10 is supposed to be infinity.
I can love that show the same way I love Space 1999.
Good point. But that's, again...
Really
or really, 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 really high. Because that's the only way... Shad, that's the only episode of Voyager I ever skipped. And not because I thought it was terrible, just because I didn't like the premise. And after I watched SF Debris' review, I'm glad I skipped it, because I don't think I would ever be able... I don't think I'd be playing this game had I watched that episode.
Well, it was
retcon,
retcon,
much took the science right out of science fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of broke the whole...
But the whole thing about Threshold is even the writers went like, my God, what have I done? And they retconned it later in Dark Frontier. So Threshold never happened, basically.
And it's sad because one of my favorite characters is Harry Kim, and I feel bad for him now after watching Voyager. Same thing with Chakotay. I always thought he was a decent character. Then I watched
Robert Beltran hated him.
Yeah, I think everybody... I mean, they kind of just... If you look at the two shows that were running Star Trek-wise, there was Voyager and Deep Space Nine. Deep Space Nine had amazing story arcs, a very dark for Star Trek storyline.
It started dark. It was something else by the end.
It was a great show. Like, altogether, other than, like, Prophet and Lace, it was a really, really good series.
Thank you for reminding me of that.
Oh, hey, I'm an alien god and forgot about it.
Yeah, and the other thing, the Borg aren't in it, which is good. I think the Borg just didn't need to be in that show.
Emissary.
You know what I mean, asshole. They were not the primary antagonist in that series. And if they did, Jake Sisko would just bitch slap him. Remember, he's the guy that defined a ship with...
You mean Ben Sisko, right?
But anyway, we've gone off a long tangent about a piece of shit ship from a piece of ship series. Piece of shit series.
Okay, let's see. Will the heavy Jem'Hadar escort be playable as well? Warp04 asks us. Will there be more factions that offer reputation systems? Daniel Saul answers, the upcoming release of the Dominion Lockbox will introduce new playable Jem'Hadar ships to stow, and the heavy escort might be one of those ships. As far as
it is one of those ships. Did they ever announce that?
As far as reputations go, we are planning to introduce several new reputations over the next 2 years. Some of the reputations being considered include PvP, Fed, KDF,
I actually am
Warfront,
down for that. PvP needs a lot of work.
Tholian Task Force, Foundry Play, and Crafting, to name a few.
Okay.
If we're going to do the Tholian Task Force, then a whole lot more missions where you can go fight the Tholians.
Okay, Fed KDF Warfront, another rant. I do this. I do this occasionally. Fed KDF Warfront, the fucking Fed KDF war needs to die.
It does. It just needs to be buried in a hole and completely forgotten about.
It needs to end, please. God, can we move on?
Look, I would be happy if they moved on with the Fed KDF war. It doesn't mean you have to end the two factions, and you don't have to end PvP because you have House versus House and Fed versus Fed PvP.
Can we just fucking end Jimpock already?
Yeah, can we just go in, prove that him and Admiral Quinn are both Undine, which is obvious, shoot them both once in the head with the phaser rifle, put Worf in the head of the council, and find somebody better than Admiral Quinn, because God, I hate that dipshit.
It'll be Gerard.
Wait a minute, isn't Alexander supposed to be coming up as Emperor?
No, my guess is it's going to be Gerard who takes over from Jimpock.
And then can we kick that idiot from Section 31?
Oh my God. Jimpock is so bad and so stupid and so crazy that a Duras is a better choice.
I agree with that statement, but the Fed KDF war, I've said it, just needs to be buried. I don't mind if you keep the storyline in, but just resolve it already.
Yes. That before the Iconians show up, we should move on from this.
Or have the Iconians showing up be what drives the war to an end.
Either way.
Again, that was already done as well.
And there's potential right there for story missions. You could be going in there to deal with Jimpock.
Yeah, maybe.
And KDF could be coming in to deal with that dipshit in Earth Space Dock.
That would be nice. Opposite faction missions that kill off the main hero or main antagonist.
Both ships meet on the way back home. Oh.
Details.
I didn't do nothing. See ya.
What are you doing in Federation space? What the hell are you doing in Klingon space?
Sound like
We're killing Admiral Quinn. Huh, we're killing Jimpock. Oh, alright. Here's the codes to get into ESD. Here's where he's at. Here's his personal shield frequency. And here's a gun. Please shoot him for me.
That will be the Klingons to Jimpock.
Oh, yeah, basically, that'd be the Feds to the Klingons for Admiral Dipshit, and that'd be the us for Jimpock. Because either way, we all want him to die. Okay.
I like Admiral Dipshit. He gave me a ship.
Yeah, he also called you when you were in another dimension just to bring you to Earth Space Dock and pat you on the back.
Alternatively, instead of having Undine, be one of those really disgusting aliens from like the first season of Next Generation where they shot the guy in the chest and had him explode, and there's just
from Conspiracy, the
blue guys.
Yeah, I love that race. That thing was cool.
Yeah, that was a really funny episode.
If they want to take some, because again, the books cover those guys. Like the books explain what the deal with those guys were, because they finally show up after like post Nemesis. So if they want to take stuff from the books, that was a pretty good storyline.
The Vesta is in game. Just saying.
Or not ST, after Foundry mission.
Yeah.
I
want the zombie snowmen in the Foundry.
I just want to kick Franklin Drake in the nuts. Is it that bad that I want to kick him in the nuts repeatedly?
You have to have nuts for you to kick him, man.
Then can I shove a rusty nail up his... Anyway.
I just want
next
to punch
question.
him.
Before I rant some more.
I just want to pistol whip him. That's all. I just want to pistol whip him.
I can live with pistol whipping him with a beamer,
That's a really heavy pistol.
Anyway,
I want to pistol whip
next
him or
old school
embarrass him in
porn
public,
that were
one or the
huge.
other.
that would work too.
Okay. What's that, Imbaculous?
I was gonna say a torpedo tube that needs filling.
Yeah, can I launch him out a torpedo tube?
If they could do it to Spock, I could do it to him.
Can I launch him in a bioneural, please?
Just launch him into Nukara feet first. He'll be fine.
Oh god.
All right.
Horrible.
I still think they need that small craft missions that coincide with having one person in a main ship and the other 4 people have to go and take shuttlecrafts to go board shit and do side missions.
Oh my gosh, dude. You know what I just thought of?
That would take a lot of back-end shit to get working.
You know
Yeah.
what I just really want to
Hey,
happen?
I just spent like $20 on keys. I know they're making their money now.
Okay, all I want right now, I want a fleet PvP where I'm in the Jem'Hadar Dreadnought and everybody's in shuttles, and I want to blow you guys to little itty-bitty pieces.
You wouldn't. Tell everybody to bring point defense systems.
I wouldn't use fighters. I wouldn't be that mean.
Okay, moving on.
And everybody shows up and dumps plots on.
God damn it.
Okay. Ekumalum asks, the winter event was cool. Are you planning on extending it for the next year, or do you have something similar in store for springtime? Daniel Stahl answers, the winter event will be returning next December, and due to this year's popularity, we are considering adding a companion event mid-year that will offer new challenges and new rewards, while providing a more sunny atmosphere. Rise a social zone.
Forward answer, would really love it.
It depends on if I get one of those little statues to carry around with me everywhere. Otherwise, it sucks.
The Horgons?
Yeah.
Can we actually have a use for the cave?
If it gives me another free ship, I'm also cool with that. I mean, I really shouldn't have gotten, like, I feel bad because I only did the races on one character, and I think the Breen ship is pretty badass for a ship that you get for free.
Slap that. It looks
the amount of work
It's
you had to-
badass if it actually got the bonuses it deserved.
Yeah.
Agreed. But it's basically a pretty decent it's an MVAE with an extra weapon slot, and I found that I could do some really nasty damage with that ship.
It's a ship I got for free at 5 characters. I can't complain.
It also looks like a...
Any bonuses from the Jem'Hadar sets or really Polarods?
Yeah, that'd be nice. But, short answer, I wouldn't mind it returning. It'd be a lot of fun. I really did enjoy it, but that's my answer.
I want it to return, but I want the grinding to be lessened.
Yeah, I want an alternative way. Like maybe the snowmen actually drop the stuff instead of me having to dig through freaking snow for hours just to get everything.
I don't need no grinding. A little bit fine, but like a lot of those things got really hard to get.
Yeah.
Or as an alternative to a foot race, we need a little shuttle race.
Oh, shuttle race would be fucking awesome. But you can't use it. But if they did that, it'd have to be a standard shuttle that you can't change because obviously some people will have access to faster engines.
Or they...
Oh, hell no. I want to use my specially Bajoran shuttlecraft with the boosted engine speed. Kick you guys' ass who didn't buy it.
I have it, but that would be a lot of fun. But anyway, I want to use the Aeon because it's so fucking cute. Anywho.
That's the best shuttle in the game right now.
Why are there no shuttle pets or why are there no hangar pets for it? I think anybody that owns all 3-time ships should get shuttle pets.
I have a shuttle pet.
I think there are enough.
No, like actual hangar pets, I'm sorry.
Oh, an Aeon hangar?
Yeah.
That'd be badass. I'd pull out my A-Trucks again for that.
Yeah, I would, we're getting off topic. God damn it.
Okay,
right,
let's
done.
move on. How do you say your name, sir? Maddenim214. When will social zones receive an update? Daniel Saul said,
Never.
with the success of New Romulus and Tholian adventure zones, we are looking to go back to our existing social zones and give them a similar treatment. One of the zones being thrown about for a possible springtime or summer event is to have it take place on Ryza or somewhere similar where all factions could enjoy some fun in the sun. I'm going to raise my hand and say I would like at the very least a district of San Francisco if we're going to go this route.
I agree with that. I raised my hand as well as a small district.
Like a district of San Francisco or the Palais de la Concorde, where the Federation president is on Earth.
I would be...
Vulcan Gardens would be nice.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Going back...
Why?
If nothing else, they need a social on Earth with the museum.
Oh, that'd be awesome. The Starfleet Museum.
Yeah.
That would be a good way to introduce...
And include the Enterprise as in the space shuttle.
That would be pretty
Oh,
sick.
you mean the thing at like Memory Alpha, or the thing that's supposed to be at Memory Alpha, where they basically have, like... Are they like actual, like, are they mock-ups, or are they actual ships?
They're actual ships from what I've heard, like what the museum is about. Because the shuttle really isn't that big a craft. It's like a little bit... it's like 2 Danubes, I think, in length. It's not very big.
It might be a little bit longer, but not much.
That's true.
A social zone like San Francisco, where the Conquista, or the
New Orleans?
the French.
The reason I was happy you brought up the San Francisco thing. That'd be a great way to introduce player housing. If they added something similar
Everybody
to
lives in San Francisco?
Chronos. Yeah, I mean...
I won't live in San Francisco. They need to have an alternative place to live.
I mean, I'd much rather have San Diego, but if it came down, they already have Frisco. It'd be nice to have a little place to live in Frisco. Like, obviously it's not that hard. They've already instanced, like, the same fleet base and the same embassy. It's in the same door. Everybody goes to the same door, but it puts you in your embassy. How hard could it be to instance it off as a player house? I think that'd be just an awesome little place to have.
Okay. This is pure, like, never going to fucking happen. This is me dreaming the impossible dream. But the one social zone that I love to see in the game is Berengaria. Because, Berengaria would add fucking dragons to the game.
Oh god, not dragons. This is not Skyrim.
No, but it's canon. It's, like, Berengaria is, like, this place that is... in canon, like, where this giant species of, like, fucking flying carnivorous Romulan eating reptile fucking lives. Plus my character's from there, so like I said, this is me dreaming the impossible dream.
Well, it's also in canon for people to be riding around on jet skis on Ryza, but we never actually saw it, just heard about it.
Oh my god.
Jet ski
Oh my
race.
god. Fuck the shuttle race. 10 of 10. Need a jet ski race on Riza. Oh, that'd be hilarious.
If they do Riza, I want floral, like, swimsuits.
No, I want the Magnum PI look. Oh god, I want the cheesy 80s floral print Hawaiian shirt,
Yes,
tan khakis, and a fedora. Why? I don't know.
I already have the mustache for it.
Porn stash FTW? Oh god, that's so out of thing. But
yeah, but you have more like a Captain Hook sort of mustache and goatee, though.
It goes with anything.
Very, very true. But we need the cheesy, we need the cheap floral print, shirt and the khakis.
Yeah, but it doesn't work unless a rock theme starts playing every time you enter the room.
Oh, that's true. Then again, I want the Phoenix to, every time you launch it, to start playing,
Magic Carpet Ride.
But no, they can't license that song.
I thought, like, that was like a last-minute thing, right? Like, Frakes ran in.
Yeah, no. What happened was he's like, shit, We can't launch. I can't find it.
No, I mean
And
like
then,
production side. Like that was like a last minute edition.
I don't know, but if it was the greatest addition to Trek ever. Cause God, it's an awesome song, perfect part of the song, and it's just I can't say because that's my favorite movie in the series, but it's hilarious. I love the scene, and God, what I wouldn't do for the Phoenix to do that every time you launch. Well, not every time, but at least once. The first time you launch it, hear the
Steppenwolf, right?
yeah, it's Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
You know, watch that ship from a torpedo tube.
That brings up the question that Steppenwolf is canon in Star Trek.
Yeah, it is. Steppenwolf is canon in Star Trek. And that is like the perfect song to play to it.
Yeah, Steppenwolf is about the only music canon in Star Trek that isn't so old that it's just free.
Well, the reason they did that for a reason. It's more of it's kind of a stylistic choice where they're trying to avoid the trope. If you like read TV tropes, the trope is called Zerust. You know, basically they're like this is what music in the future will sound like 10 years later. Like the musical genre they used in that particular episode is considered old or out of style. That's what they were trying to avoid with always using like a Berlioz and Bach and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, but it's such a it fits the scene well, and it's a good addition to the song.
It doesn't hurt the scene that they got the best person possible to play Zephram Cochrane, and that was James Cromwell.
Yeah,
along with the look on everybody else's faces when the song starts playing, they're like, what?
Yeah, that is such an absolutely hilarious scene, and I love it. But
it's
again,
Troy
completely going off of not what we were talking about, but
it's Troy ripping her headset off at the sound
yeah,
of it.
The look on her face,
me.
like God damn it, was perfect and hilarious, nonetheless.
Okay. Why do people have so many numbers in their names? Selacnar 070890. Jesus. Asks, what are the plans for 10 to... How do you pronounce that? What are the plans for 10...
8675309.
And we're going to get banned by copyright for that.
What are the plans for 10 to 25-man normal or elite STFs?
Fuck yeah.
Daniel Stahl says, there are two things being discussed related to this. We want to see more STFs when we increase the level cap, and we have a good mix we want a good mix of 5, 10, 20-man missions that offer challenges geared towards those players. We are also looking at large-scale competitive PvP and or competitive PvE scenarios. This is an old promise that would allow a large numbers of players to participate in scheduled events. Both of these concepts are on the table for later 2013, but will not be picked up until after Season 8 releases. Also, it's really hard to read this stuff out every week already without them refusing to use spell check. So, the competitive PvP and competitive PvE, those are promises that go back to before the game was even released. That's what they were saying the game basically was going to be.
Yeah, my only problem, I would love to see 10 and 25 man as 10 and 20 man STFs.
I think that
the
would
major
get kind of out
problem
of control.
is one, getting 20 fucking people together is a pain in the ass if you're in a smaller fleet.
Well, here's the problem. This precludes all the other problems. Because before you even worry about getting people together, you have to get the fucking thing working. And the thing is, with 5 people in an STF, there is so much shit going on in those missions that the game can't draw the projectiles correctly anymore.
Yeah, and imagine 20 of these, it'd be literally a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only way, 20 man can go fuck itself. 10 man would be awesome only if everybody is on the same fucking team. Because you can't coordinate in zone chat. Zone chat is broken as it is.
It wouldn't be like the same team. It would be multiple teams. But what you would have to do is you'd have to have two objectives that have to be accomplished, and you'd have to have both teams split off. And even then, it's still 5-man. It's just two 5-man teams in the same map. You're having them split off far away, so the map still works.
It'd be kind of neat to have each team has its own objective. With the third objective, they both work on at the same time.
See, that would be amazing if
the engine could run it.
Yeah, if the engine could do it where it works properly, and that last part is a 10-man. Oh my God, we really, really need to coordinate, or we're gonna get fucked over.
But like that, you see this stuff in fleet actions all the time. You used to see this in like Gorn Minefield, where if so much crap was going on that if you didn't suffer death from 1,000 cuts from the 8 million Gorn frigates that would spawn on that map before, you would get lagged to death because there was so much crap going on. You couldn't see anything anymore, and you couldn't even see the projectiles that were coming at you, and you suffered instant death in STFs constantly because everything's so crazy and there's so many projectiles being drawn that the game is starting to forget other projectiles exist right up until they hit you and you die. So this would be a really great idea, but the game can't run it. Not the way the graphics engine is now.
Image is right now, because the 20-man mission they have for the Starbase mission, there are times when I can count the frame rate, and it's more like counting the seconds per frame.
Same here. So, like, the game really needs... Because I've said this before, the Champions engine is really not very good. Like the Champions engine is very old and very clunky. And, like Stowe has a ton of graphical problems that prove this. The engine does a lot of weird stuff, like you can only render the UI using your CPU for some bizarre reason instead of doing it with your GPU, which would... If I could render the UI with the GPU, the game would play so much smoother for me. But the engine is just old and it's clunky, and like 10-man normal or elite STF, that might be like borderline possible, but 25? Oh, screw that. That would be unplayable.
So my question to you gentlemen is a full upgrade of the engine possible? Yes, no?
Possible, yes, but it will require significant development time and significant tests. If you want to see a game that has consistently updated its engine, EVE Online has always updated its engine, and you can say whatever you want about EVE Online or the inhabitants of the fucking universe of EVE Online, but the engine EVE Online, I played it recently, and the engine, especially now, is gorgeous. So it's possible, but it would require a committed development to the new engine.
They already said they were going to convert over after they finish Neverwinter.
If you watch the Vegas show, towards the end of it, they were talking about how they're planning. There's a new engine already in development in-house at Cryptic for Stowe and Champions, I believe, and they said they are upgrading the engine sometime in the next year or two.
Use for Neverwinter, the other's just going to be converted over to use.
But yeah, that's true. We'll see, and we'll know in the next year probably.
Like Neverwinter's engine.
I don't know how long it would totally make sense for them to use that.
Yeah.
If Neverwinter's engine, because Neverwinter, there was a time when Neverwinter was getting rushed out by Atari, if I remember, and then Atari decided to liquidate Cryptic.
Oh, speaking of Atari, they're going under, right?
Yeah, but Atari at this point is Infogrames just wearing Atari's skin as a suit, so that's not really a big loss.
No, yeah, it is, but yeah, they're going under.
Like they're literally Infogrames literally did to Atari what the alien bug in Men in Black did to the farmer. So
yeah, basically.
This is more of a mercy killing than anything else.
How many times can you have the same name for a company die?
a lot, apparently. And I'm somebody who loved Atari. I have like Neverwinter Nights. That was published by Atari.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like as somebody who loves Atari, I hate to see him go, but the Atari that exists now is not the Atari that existed before, or the Atari that existed before that. So
if you pull up the article on Atari on Wikipedia, it's hilarious. I mean, their timeline is like, okay, here's when it was this company, here's when it was this company, here's when it was this company, here's when it was this company.
and now like as soon as Infogrames obtained the license to use the name and the iconography of Atari.
Yeah,
it was like the place was run by the fucking Keystone Cops. Like, they couldn't do anything right.
No, they really couldn't. It was
hilarious because before that, the Atari stuff was good, and the Infogrames stuff was good.
Yeah.
And then they acquired Atari and screwed up everything on both sides.
So, in a new graphics engine maybe, but in the current Champions engine that Star Trek Online is using, 25 man, not a chance.
It's too old.
It's too old. It's too clunky. As Dee said, fucking fleet-based defense barely runs, and I mean barely runs.
And you know what's really sad about this fucking game? You guys know I have a really solid computer.
Oh yeah. You can play this game on a supercomputer and you'll still get tons
It crashes and gives me a out of video memory error.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I have no other processes running other than Star Trek. And apparently it runs out of 2 gigs of video memory. How the it rattles my brain. I talked to Brandon about this, Brandflakes. You know what he fucking told me? Apparently the engine hates ATI cards.
They were marketing it.
I was going to tell you it has to be because I don't have a crash on my video card, and it's a 900 GT that's basically a 5-year-old card.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I've already bought them. I'm just going to install them soon. I bought 2 $80 cards on... oh, God, now I can't remember the name of the website.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah. No, it's a good one. It's the Tiger Direct. Is that it?
Well, the reason for the reason it hates ATI cards is because when this game first launched, they were running a sweepstakes for like an Alienware computer
with an NVIDIA chip.
With an NVIDIA graphics chip. They were also running a like the secondary prize was a NVIDIA GPU.
For the longest time on the Alienware site, when they were marketing the MX-13 or 11, which was their netbook of the time, the picture was of a Galaxy class coming through the
Galaxy Blob.
It was the Galaxy class, like, you know, kind of the iconic shot of the ship upward, heroic shot.
Yeah, but was it like the old version of the Galaxy from this game?
I don't think it was actually from the game, I'll be 100% honest with you, because it looked way too good.
Yeah.
And it said, at the bottom of the page, it said Star Trek Online, best on an Alienware with NVIDIA.
Do you want to know something weird?
What was that?
Wait, she opened up 231 boxes. Oh, no. Those are individual claims. Never mind. Never mind me.
Go ahead, Imbeculus.
Do you want to know something weird?
Go ahead.
On my old computer, which is really old by now, and it only had 2 gigs of memory. It didn't even have a gig on the video card stuff. I never got any of those errors or any slowdown or anything.
I hate you.
My card is an ATI, for the record.
And on the one I'm running on now, the game runs at full settings, and I don't have that. But it lends credence to it because the new PC is NVIDIA, the NVIDIA card. The GeForce.
Yeah, if you've got a NVIDIA card, the game is basically just CPU built.
Yeah. So that actually lends credence because I think the old machine had an NVIDIA card too.
I have an ATI. I have constant trouble.
So that's not just you guys talking out of your asses. That's actually
No. It doesn't shock
whatever.
me at all. ATI basically hates everybody who wants to actually develop anything to use their cards.
I got an ATI card because it was dirt cheap. And I needed a new graphics card because the old one was unsupported, but I still get like a ton of
ATI
errors.
builds good video hardware and then wrecks it with their drivers and won't let developers have access to stuff that actually makes stuff work.
God, that sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, pure hardware spec-wise, they're great. They always ruin it with their software.
Okay, so moving on from that. Cratchmaster asks, with this season, players now require far more resources to contribute to the reputation system, embassy projects, and fleet projects. As a result, many players have noticed a trend of some players going AFK during PvE bouts, presumably to simply claim the reward at the end without having to do the work to earn it. Are there any plans in the works to correct this so that the players that do play the matches don't become discouraged? Daniel Stahl answers, we are disappointed that some players are doing this, so we are discussing... Notice he says disappointed but not surprised. That some players are doing this, so we are discussing possible changes to the dilithium reward structure that will take into account whether or not the player is contributing to the event or not. We wish that all players would play these events as they are intended instead of trying to milk the rewards, but in the meantime, we are discussing a solution that should not be detrimental to those actually participating.
Don't believe it.
Okay. I have 2 points on this one, and this is the one that I really thought of, because this is the one that... There's one simple fucking solution to this. Play with people you play. Play with people you know, that you like.
But it's an MMO. Some people don't want to play an MMO and socialize.
They can go fuck themselves. This is an MMO.
Solo STFs.
Oh no, I would love to play solo STFs with boffs, but going to this, play with people you know, which isn't that hard. Get into a channel like Elite STF, public Elite STF. There are a lot of channels. And if you pug it, oh well, that's what you're dealing with. That's your problem. I personally never experienced an AFK in close to 1,000 STFs. I have yet to experience.
Like once.
Yeah, maybe once.
It was like somebody who came back and apologized because they had a phone call or something.
No, I've had a guy go AFK for like the first 5 minutes in Infected, come back for the final fight, participate, soloed the gateway while we were playing around with the cube, apologized for what he did, and that's the only real AFK I've ever seen. But going back to the two, if they implement a system like this, it'll be fucked up. I know it will. It's cryptic. What will happen? Nobody will get the reward.
Yes.
Yeah, if they do it the way they do, what's it called? Like Starbase 24 and shit. Oh, so then cruisers are completely discouraged from joining.
Yeah.
Because the only way to get a reward is to kill everything as fast as possible. So there goes 2/3 of the people that aren't flying Vestas or aren't taxed in pure escorts.
There's no realistic way to do it. You can't base it on DPS. Then you've just screwed your science officers or tanks. You can't base it just on keyboard inputs because, well, you know, I just put something sitting on my keyboard, you know,
I just sit there hitting tab constantly.
Yeah.
What they need to do is just take a page out of all the other long games, you know? Vote to kick and immediately pull someone that's waiting from a queue.
I'm down. Like that's what's been requested for so long. But then there are the assholes. Like this one. I had my DPS parser up. I go in. This is right after I hit tier 5. I go into a I plugged Infected Space Elite. I show up in my Odyssey. I'm surrounded by 2 Defiants, Fleet Defiants, mind you, a Jem'Hadar attack ship, and some other random escort. They all cussed me out for being in an Odyssey, saying I'm some shitty rainbow barge or whatever, saying I'm a noob and all that shit. I had the second highest DPS in the room. I was at like 9,000 or 10,000 in a fucking cruiser.
I've caught hell flying an exploration cruiser and STFs too.
That's
Look,
because
man, your ship doesn't matter. The player really does matter.
Yeah.
yeah, it's less about the gear and more about knowing your shit. I know
That's
this
character
game.
build.
Yeah, your character. The two important things: character build, and the player behind the ship.
But, I mean, if you're a tank, it doesn't matter if you're in a rainbow boat.
No, it really doesn't. As long as you can piss them off, that's all that matters.
If you're a science officer who's got a really big science build for gravity wells, it doesn't matter if you're in a rainbow boat, because you're not relying on your guns for damage anyways.
Do you know how much I miss Raph's gravity wells?
Oh, man.
I'm not kidding. I legitimately miss his gravity wells. Like, I've noticed my damage has dropped a little bit without him in the group because he used to get.
And everybody has a group hug.
Yeah, and they have a group hug, cannon scatter volley, torpedo spread, and there's a lot of dead shit in front of me.
I'd still say it's hilarious when in their universe, hit them with a gravity well and the scrambled sensors, watch them all tractor each other.
Or the
So
typhoon.
bottom line.
Oh, but
So bottom line. So bottom line, the system they're thinking about is ill-advised and is
Yeah,
doomed to fail.
unless they really do a smart thing and have it, I don't know, some check and balances to show that you're actually doing something. But it's so easy to fuck up.
The thing
Yeah,
is,
because if you're basing it just on weapon damage or DPS, so many people will be screwed out of it, even though they're actively participating and being critical members of the team.
people were very pissed about this at the launch of Season 7 with the new fleet
Yeah.
actions. People were very pissed about that very thing. But here's the thing, is even with vote to kick and bringing in somebody new from the queue, either way, this is really exploitable.
Yeah, it is.
You can vote kick somebody who completely didn't deserve it just to be an asshole and bring in somebody new from the queue and do the same thing to them, or you could go in with a group of people and just like kick everybody out who you don't want to get a reward just to
right
be
before
mean.
the end of the mission.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in the end, it's exploitable. And it's not worth it because it shows in the fleet actions who when we did ours for the first time when we all those poor Klingon souls, all those poor Klingons.
No, that was
Oh.
so funny, dude.
Those first few fleet actions were really fucking fun.
Imbeculus, those were magical, Imbeculus.
Oh, they were. It was like, wow. I legitimately felt bad for the Klingons because
Hey, look, there's a Klingon. Never mind.
Like we killed them fast.
like-
We killed them so fast we had to wait for them like 5 minutes for them to spawn again.
Yeah, it was like
We
going
wiped the
over and
map.
kicking over, like going over and kicking like a little kindergartner's sandcastle. It was really bad.
Like Ambeculus was talking about, like while we were doing this, Ambeculus was talking about this episode of Angel. Like in Angel, the main characters have to like fight fucking vampires and demons, and generally the kind of stuff that exists only in your nightmares. But there's this one episode where this one character, his name is Gunn, is working with this lady to what the hell was I forget what he was doing, but they had to go into this room and deal with a bunch of guards, and he asks what they are: werewolves, vampires, demons, and she just tells him that they're just like a bunch of flunkies that are hired by this guy, and he's like, I get to beat up normal people? That's kind of pretty much what it was like.
Because by that time, everyone in the group was kitted out to destroy Borg.
yeah, and this is when the oh god, when we this is actually right after we had got done with our first roundtable, and it was 1/3 of the 12 Angry Men. I remember the title.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, fuck it. I said, these are where the dilithium's at now. Let's go do one. And I was in the ship that they got.
Steamrunner.
What was it? The
Steamrunner.
the steam ship. I had just gotten that.
Still an awesome console on that one.
Yeah. And we all went in, and those poor Klingons, they just scatter volley, torpedo spread, beta tactical team. Didn't he have to use...
You're also forgetting that was the night the UE glitched or whatever, and you had your gravity wells on the thing.
Oh, that's right, and I had gravity well 3 on that ship. Oh God, that was terrible.
That was really bad.
There is a way they could kind of balance the vote to kick, where it was only an option if the person was AFK for a couple of minutes first.
Yeah, because there's the only way vote to kick, because it gives you a warning at 5, 20, 30, 50, and 55 minutes. If they are AFK for the first 5 minutes of the STF, the option comes to vote to kick. And if it's more than one person, it always has to be an overwhelming, it has to be an overwhelming, or a majority, vast majority. It has to be, if it's 1, 4 out of 5. If it's 2, has to be 3.
But what if it's a silent majority?
There is no silent majority.
But and give them the option to say no on the kick, which obviously they're not going to do if they're AFK.
Yeah, and yeah, if they respond... Then again, if they're just being the douchebag that sits there, like, I know there are people, I was talking to somebody that this happened, they were in a CSE, and the guy was just hovering over the Kang, not doing shit. This has happened to me, and it makes me laugh. I go into a CSN, because occasionally I like to fuck up the Borg in a very powerful ship. And I said, I'll just take care of the Kang. It was 4 Rainbow Cruisers, of course. What do they keep telling me? Stop sitting there guarding the Kangs. We need you at this cube. We need you at this cube. Help us. Don't worry about him. He'll be fine. I was like, all right. And I went and I helped him. And I slowly watched as the Kang got blown up. And then they told me, why didn't I go back and help the Kang? I said, because I was just farming loot on normal, because I so need the loot on normal. I hate people.
Anyways,
You can't.
Anyways,
go ahead and Becky.
Make a rainbow boat, troll people. It's fun.
That I told you the name of my Aquarius, right?
Yeah.
It's the still have it, right? The USS Skittle Prize.
Oh, nice. Skittle prize. You did
And
stick with
it's
that one.
Polarons. What did I put? An anti-proton turret, a disruptor turret, a phaser turret, or a phaser dual heavy cannon, a Polaron dual heavy cannon. What else is on that piece of shit?
Go ahead, Imbeculus.
It's rainbows.
I was just going to say that you can't really fix the problem that there's going to be dumbass goons.
Yeah,
Just
it's an MMO. It's a free-to-play MMO.
There is no such thing as a computer with a douchebag detector.
Yeah.
Yeah, sadly.
So at the end of the day, what's worse? The guy who comes into your STF and you know, goes uninfected and goes and pisses off the other side and gets all the nanites pissed off, or the guy who just sits there and doesn't fuck up?
I'd much rather have a guy just sitting there, to be 1,000% honest with you, because
and like take us for example, not me, but you guys, a lot of you guys are so good, your ships are so powerful, you know how to fly them so well, that the fleet action of the STF is over before the 5 minutes to kick banner up.
Yeah, and to be 100% honest with you, Imbeculus, you have a great build. Like, you really do. There's nothing wrong with your ship. I think it's beast enough to keep up with us, so you know you're doing it right if you're keeping up with me and Grant and Alchemisted and D's for damage, because we have probably, between us, probably the best builds in Star Trek Online, just for and it's not because they're so pure built, like perfect pure builds. We have flexible builds that lets us fly other ships, not just oh my god lead hacks damage on an escort, because that's no fun. Escorts get boring after a while, except the heavy escort.
The time escort. I haven't got bored with that yet.
Oh no. There's 2 escorts that can never be boring. That's the 3. The heavy escort carrier, because fucking awesome looking, and it's got a OMFG torpedo console. The MVAE, because 3 ships for the price of 1, and the temporal ship, because, well, It's a fucking temporal ship, and we're the temporal directive.
And it's broken.
That was a long tangent.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah, let's move on to the next question. All right. Tim Jerem asks, now, I'm personally not a fan of flying around a box where you just get the same old missions over and over again, of having to scan 5 anomalies and warp out, blow 5 sets of hostile vessels up, beam to a station/planet, kill 5 sets of hostiles. It's not Trek. Where are the aliens that you talk to or sort the situation out, or just the aliens that you don't have to kill, full stop? Also, where is the exploration?
They have those. It's called the diplomatic missions, where you do just go talk to them.
And even those are pre-generated, but moving on. Also, where is the exploration to seek out new life and boldly go where no one has gone before?
I think Kirk already went all of those. Oh, you meant actual places, not even.
Okay.
Oh, dear God.
Daniel Stahl answers. We've poured significant resources into creating procedurally generated random space encounters, and unfortunately, they never feel quite like the Trek you are talking about. You mean Trek?
You mean Trek?
This is why we created the Foundry. No, it's not. So that players could author missions that are much more genuine and offer something new. The next step will be to marry the Foundry to a solid exploration concept where you can be rewarded for exploring new sectors of randomly but player-generated strange new worlds. That is the basis of what we want to do with exploration in the future.
You know what?
I actually said something about this
It's amazing.
while we were taking 5, waiting for Andrew.
Okay, go for it.
My idea was basically you take a text document, like the same sort of text document where people can like type their macros in, and you basically give people like so-and-so slots. They can buy more slots if they want, from like the Z store if you want to monetize it that way. Let's say they start out with 10. Well, they have 10 slots. They can copy Foundry mission IDs to these, paste them into the text document, and then go to a star cluster. And whenever they go to a unknown system, instead of entering one of those randomly generated systems, the game will check to see if they have any of those playlisted Foundry mission IDs. And the moment they enter the next map, it'll kick off a Foundry mission. So people can make tailor-made Foundry missions for star clusters. And it'll be dodgy at first because like all the Foundry missions basically tell you to go somewhere else, but eventually people will start tagging their missions as like Foundry exploration or what have you, and people can playlist those and have a bit more fun time doing that, explore strange new worlds daily, and maybe take care of investigate officer reports as well while they're at it. And that would probably alleviate a lot of the exploration problems, but not all of them. The Foundry is not really the Foundry is a really great tool to use to supplement exploration, but I don't think it's the final answer.
No, it can't be unless they give us. Look, I'm not a Foundry author. I'm not. From what I've read on the forums in the Foundry section, because God knows the rest of it, they really need a Bible and spell check. The authors need a better tool. It's a good tool, obviously. Captain Revo, Haverhaw, something
Alamac.
Murphy. Their missions are well done, well written, and just engaging. But if you want to do exploration through these, they need better tools to do it, and they really need the help from Cryptic to give the Trekkies, the hardcore Trekkies, not the people that really don't care about exploration, because I don't really know that many people that do exploration, but they just need a way to make it better and more fun for the Foundry authors to make these missions that kept this game afloat for 2011.
So the Foundry was created for Neverwinter Nights. That was the germ of the idea from the Foundry came from the Aurora toolset. It's intended to be the spiritual successor. The Aurora toolset was developed by BioWare for Neverwinter Nights. It's actually the toolset they used to develop the game. And it was, at the same time, astonishingly simple to use and deeply complex. You could build a module pretty easily with it. It was pretty idiot-proof. It walked you through everything. You could build a module, tell your own story in it, and you basically had free reign to do whatever the hell you wanted. But there was also the scripting language that came with it. And if you could master that, you could do some really impressive stuff. And you used to see stuff like the stuff that Alimak and Havraha do in the Foundry missions. Like the quality of their Foundry missions, you used to see that all the time in Neverwinter Nights modules. They were really well made. The thing about the Foundry is it is robust, but it is bare bones. It is lacking a lot of the functionality that it should really have. Like even simple things like being able to like switches, for example, like being able to establish a condition like where you talk to this guy and it turns this one switch on or off elsewhere in the map, you know, which causes this thing to happen. And yet that simple concept lets you do really complex things. And there's also this brevity of content in the Foundry. Like, a lot of the stuff that was in the Foundry was taken out. Like, a lot of the uniforms you used to be able to use were taken out of the Foundry for reasons that have not, to my knowledge, been explained. Yeah, and just like you're stuck with prefabs instead of building your own maps, which is something that the Neverwinter Foundry supposedly has. But the Foundry as it is now is not quite there at the level it would need to be to become the major content creation engine of the game. It's still in beta, to my knowledge. So,
essentially, if it's in the game, it ought to be in the Foundry.
Yeah, basically. I have heard from them that porting things to the Foundry is a very lengthy process because the stuff they have to port to the Foundry is very large in terms of its file size. But even so, just like there should be, like, for example, like being able to like construct like segments of corridors without having to just use like placeable walls and such. Like just being able to like provide intersections, like intersections of corridors and little like corridor tubes, I guess, like little corridor tunnels, like kind of like what you see on Space Build, if you get where I'm going. With
yeah,
that
makes
a little bit. That would be far more than we already have. You know, being able to construct a map that is in space as opposed to having to sort of mess with the system and build a space map that you can walk around in and talk to people in that is miles above the actual map. You know?
Yeah.
You know, like simple functionality like that isn't in the Foundry, and until it is, it's not going to be the major, massive content creation engine that Cryptic wants it to be, and the people playing the game want it to be as well.
Yeah. So, no, you're absolutely right, but I'm glad that they've at least tried to give Foundry out there something, because
oh yeah,
you know, the Foundry is a great tool for this engine. Maybe once we get a better engine, we'll get a better Foundry to go with it, but you know, who knows what they're going to do in the end. And hopefully they do the right thing and give us... They need to fix exploration themselves, obviously, but they need to think about what this game needs, and, well, we'll know soon enough what they're going to do with the Foundry. Because I lost my train of thought. Anyway, next topic?
All right.
Train wreck.
Next question is asked by Akpa. Can you provide us, that's supposed to be us, spell checker. Can you provide us with more information about the Starbase 24 and Gorn Minefields rating system? And will any improvements so that we may see the top and how we earned our place there? Okay. Daniel Stahl answers. We have refrained from sharing specifics because each fleet action is slightly different in the way they score. I.e., it depends on the structure of the mission. It doesn't. For example, the Gorn Minefield event scores on frigate defeats.
No, it doesn't.
mining facility repairs, and the final boss defeat, in addition to other factors at different intervals. The real issue is that the score may be too complex to display in a meaningful way, and so we will consider this as feedback when we look at how we can improve player participation, much in the way that Call of Duty or Halo would. Now, Halo's, a lot of people hate on Halo. I love Halo. I think that Halo has always had a very great stat tracking feature. I think that's kind of where he's going with that. Like I used to frequent Bungie.net constantly, and now they've been playing Halo 4, I kind of visit Waypoint occasionally to see how I'm doing. But that's not the question that's being asked. The question that's being asked is, how the hell do you decide who has like the highest score here?
That's DPS. It has to be.
Yeah, it's pure DPS.
Okay, we actually tested this out. I got a group together with some friends. I was in my multi-vector assault escort, and my other friend was in some other random escort. Another good one. Both high-end damage ships. I attacked less, but did got every frigate and all the mining repairs. He killed most of the enemies, and I did a lot of damage in that fight still. Mm-hmm. He came in first. And I had the higher damage weapons and the better consoles, but because he killed more things, did higher average damage, the parser proved it. He had the highest damage in the game, and not even by enough to really say, it was a big, I think it was like maybe 800 or 900 DPS at most, and he had the highest spike and the highest overall damage, and he came in first. So no, it's not complex. You have a ship with scatter volley, torpedo spread, and beta or omega, you're always gonna come in first. And that was also proven when we were doing our missions, and I was coming in first. I came in first every one that we did. So I think it's just complete and utter bullshit on that one, and I will call him on it. But that's me. Any thoughts on that, guys?
I'm pretty sure you're about right on that.
So yeah, that's pretty much bullshit. I would be interested to see a better stat tracking functionality out of the game. Maybe that's something you're planning for the gateway. But before they do that, I would rather see like DOF system implemented, and I would like to see the return of captain's logs as well.
Yeah, Captain Log was a cool feature.
Yeah.
On the subject of the gateway, is it just me or they missed part of the point? People wanted something like that was be able to show other people their stuff outside the game, and right now you can't send somebody a link to your stuff. You have to log into it yourself.
The way you have to
log in, but you can look at friends or fleet mates.
Yeah, the way it actually works with Stowe Gateway is if you look at the top, when you're logged in, it says in parentheses, it has your character and your ad handle. If you type in the parentheses their exact name and ad handle, it will show you their gateway, what shit they have equipped, all that happy shit, but it won't show you how much EC or dilithium they have. I think that's all that they don't show. I could be wrong on it, though. But yeah, gateway's kind of cool. I like
it's an interesting idea, but it's still a little lacking in its execution. It's still got a long way to go.
Oh no! Once they finally have it where you can doff from it, oh god, that'd be amazing. Oh god, if you could doff, even if it's just your current sector, that'd be great.
That's what everybody was wanting.
Yeah.
For the longest time.
And who knows, maybe it's just right now. I don't mind, it hasn't been around very long, but if they actually make it so it works properly, I'll be really happy.
Do you know what would be really cool with that app?
Yeah.
Did you guys ever play that game, Alpha Protocol?
Yeah.
But I've heard you talk about it a lot.
Do you remember the email in the game?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
How if you you got certain emails and you could do things like get contacts for better weapons, but it all depended on how you responded.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
if they did,
that's right.
if they could have like a pad application, and you could sending like that DOF mission, the correspondence.
Yeah.
What if you actually did the correspondence and it actually influenced the outcome of the DOF mission?
That'd be kind of awesome. Oh, no way. Oh, that's kind of cool on the, I'm sorry, on the Gateway. You can actually click your friends. If you log on to Gateway, go to your fleet, and click on any one of the people that are on, it'll show you their account.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
This is the first time I've used Stow Gateway and since it launched. Sorry. But yeah, it's kind of cool.
Last time I tried the fleet thing, it didn't work.
It's because you're not part of our fleet. Nobody likes you. Sorry. Anyway. Moving on.
That would be a good way to make the DOF missions, the DOF assignment.
Yeah.
That kind of less you go, you go, you know?
Yeah, it would be a lot, in all honest, it'd be a lot of fun if they did something like that.
Yeah.
But
Because
again,
you could do that waiting at the DMV. You could do that waiting, you know.
anywhere you, honestly, I don't know if they added that where you could DOF anywhere you're at, that'd be the greatest thing. And obviously they're starting...
I thought the DMV was a black hole of anything interesting and or entertaining.
Yeah.
They have a hotspot.
Imagine if you were sending, like the last question, very Star Trek. What did Picard do a lot? He talked to admirals, and he was talking to representatives of planets, the first contact missions and shit.
Well, the vision that a lot of people had was basically of the various characters sitting in their chairs drinking up a cup of coffee or Earl Grey working on this pad whenever somebody walks into the room.
You really do see that on Star Trek. I really wish I remember the name of the episode. It's a TNG episode. It's a bottle episode.
Are you talking about the one where they're working on crew evaluations and
that one is
Lower Decks? Was that the one?
What's it called?
Lower Decks, the one where
the Lower Decks. That is a great episode for that.
Why did I know exactly what you were talking about without you even telling me what it was?
No, I mean, come on.
Fucking nerds.
All right. God, because we totally aren't doing a YouTube video on a Star Trek game. God,
I'm under duress. That's my...
Anyway, again, completely off topic, but we got our point across. Next question.
The Gateway goes down for maintenance.
Fucking Gateway.
As soon as I tried.
Yeah, I saw that. I just went back and oh, that's great.
Oh God. Wesley Crasher asks, when will we see...
Oh no, Wesley Crasher, yeah, that's his name.
When will we see the much anticipated retrait token in the C-Store? Daniel Stahl says this has recently been moved up in the schedule so that it will release with Season 8. So when's Season 8 come out?
May of 2013, I think is what they're saying. May, June.
All they said for sure is the first half of the year.
Yeah, so anywhere from now to June?
So on Cryptic time, that's next year.
Yeah, about Cryptic. About next year. Cryptic. You know what? I really want... Because I know his answer, and I really want the re-species and re-career. And I don't know if it's in that answer, but they were talking about it. And they were saying, well, we don't want somebody, re-speciing every day. Or something like that. Really simple way to do that.
It'd be rich.
Yeah, I know, but really, really simple way to do that. You can only do it twice on your account, or 3 times on your account. That's it. Or not account, per character.
No, you don't want to do it back and fix it and all sorts of stuff, man.
No, but...
Just no, cooldown.
No, I don't... I just think
impose a lengthy cooldown on the ability to do so.
Yeah, I like my idea just because, that way there's no cooldown, but that works just as well. Give it a 1-month cooldown. So you can't re-species every other day. It's just, the reason I want my re-species is because I want my main, really what I want is a full-blown everything change. Because I want to make an engineer. I don't want to I already have a rolled engineer. I want my main character that has like 80 days active playtime. I want him to be an engineer. I don't want to make another character. This character has 7 lockbox ships, you know, and all the gear. Why do I want to go roll another character? It's not that fucking simple. And even if they don't,
was give them a free species token if they unlock the new species out of the store, for one thing.
yeah, and any lifetimer I think should get one for free for the simple fact. What if they bought their lifetime after they made their first character and they want to make a liberated Borg?
Yeah.
Because I know, for fuck's sake, I want my main, even if I can't do everything, I want a freaking liberated Borg. God, I want a liberated Borg. Anyway, that's my rant on it. Anybody else want to rant on this? Or thoughts on it?
I think that everybody's just done make efficient captains, and even with the reach traits and everything, you're just done say the same generic crap of a bunch of efficient captains, and people are done forget everything about there being any other skills in the game.
So if everybody's efficient, what does efficient become?
Yeah.
If everybody's efficient, nobody's efficient because everybody's average.
Oh, because not every species can become efficient, though.
No.
Efficient.
So, there you go. I don't even think humans can have efficient.
Efficient Packlet.
Fuck the Packlet. I saw them in the first episode. So, I watched the SF Debris. I was going through the random ones. And I saw this episode called Samaritan Snare. I'm like, I don't know what this is about. One, I have never lolled so hard in my life.
You should have seen the
and
actual
two, I found
episode.
out why I'm so glad I ever made a Packlet character. Because I think I would have committed suicide.
We look for things.
Our ship is the Mondor. It goes. Or no, it broken.
It is broken.
It is. God, that is retarded.
I still want to see Binars as a playable race. Where you basically have to up all your gear twice.
Here's how it goes. You only get a re-species token if you chose a Packlet first.
Oh, God.
That'd be a funny joke, like a funny April Fool's thing.
Yeah.
Everyone was Packlet.
Anybody that had a Packlet or a Tellarite. Or a Ferengi. Because, seriously, fuck Ferengi. I hate Ferengis.
Oh, an efficient Ferengi. That could be fun.
That's actually plausible.
Efficient Ferengi get like twice as many energy credits as much as they earn.
Don't they get that as like a racial trait? They get more energy credits?
No, they'll always get discounts on everything.
Ah.
And that's why Deez is maniacally laughing when we hit Tier 2 in the starbase, in the embassy, because then he gets... Because they have the super reduced prices on the vendors for stuff, and now he's going to get it even cheap. I think he's like another 20% on top of the, like 60% off. Basically, he's going to be paying 20% of their face value.
So just get it for free.
So the exchange is about to get inflated as hell, is what you're saying.
Yes, very much so.
Now we know whose fault it is, then.
It's all Deez's fault. I blame him.
God damn Ferengi.
Right?
I still say the Ferengi ought to be able to launch shuttles that bring back pieces of the other guy's ship.
Flavors, man. Just got to play on the Klingon side.
Yeah, but you can't make a
Ferengi should be able to do that no matter what faction they're with.
Ferengis get drops more.
I know, right?
That would have been diabolical in the old STF system, though.
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
It would also be a hilarious player versus player ability. Why did I just lose 5,000 energy credits?
Yeah, it could only take their energy credits, and it had like a 10-minute cooldown.
You got mugged, that's why.
Yeah, and no, better yet, you send your guys in, they steal their energy credits, and shut off one subsystem, and take a random part that shuts down a random subsystem for 30 seconds.
I can't fire any torpedoes. Why? They stole my torpedoes!
They stole all your torpedoes.
Damn it, I paid a lot of money for those torpedoes. You bastard!
Just disable a system because it got stolen.
You're like suddenly you're playing Star Trek
How did
Online
you-
like I used
how
to
did
play
you-
Starfleet Command.
How did you steal my warp core?
See a little Ferengi ship with the warp core in tow. Oh, and
Yeah,
that
it's not like it isn't canon with the episode of Enterprise where they first met up with the Ferengi, where they're just looting the ship.
Yeah, but that you have to remember.
taking the fucking chairs.
You have to remember this is the Enterprise crew we're talking about.
So it's not hard to defeat them.
No.
This is a man that lost fist fights for a living.
And Scott Bakula was loving every minute of it.
Oh, the next question is gonna tickle your fancy.
All right,
Oh.
next question.
Okay, let's look at this.
How long is this video gonna be? Hold on.
Long.
Oh, we're 3 hours. So not including my 30-minute break.
Kira Muffin asks, any chance of licensing more official Trek music? I'd love to have stuff from the movie soundtracks as well as the DS9 theme for the station exterior. Yes. I might even be willing to pay for music packs depending on how they're priced. Daniel Stolax answers, we have had several lengthy back and forth sessions with CBS trying to get approval for more music, but due to the way Viacom was split, the rights to this music are proving very difficult to attain and get in the game. We haven't given up, but it is far more challenging than getting a cast member to record VO for the game. So I guess this means like a cover of Deep Space Nine's theme is out of the question as well.
Yeah. In Deep
Well,
Space Nine,
anybody knows anything about the way music licensing in general works knows it's really screwed up.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
I mean, for starters, when bands have to pay royalties on their own songs to perform them,
Uh-huh.
you know, the system's broken.
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
if Kids Bop can get up to like Kids Bop 1000, surely they can get like a cover of some of the music.
Yeah, but see, I guess the problem, and I actually completely believe Dan Stahl on this one. Shocker. Wait, is that a pig flying outside? Oh no, it's just a police helicopter.
Ghetto bird.
I do live in the hood. Going back, I believe it because Viacom are a bunch of douchebag assholes.
Yeah, they're notorious to be.
And CBS, I mean, I really do believe that this is completely out of their hands, and they probably can't do jack shit about it. Now, I would love to have Deep Space Nine's theme, especially when you first go to orbit over Deep Space Nine. That would be just freaking grand, but I doubt we'll ever have it, sadly.
You could just do what I do and play the game with no music except for your playlist.
Oh, you do that too? I'm actually listening. You guys can't, just to be
But I'm
safe.
listening to Wrath of Khan most of the time.
I kind of have
Can
like
you guys-
a...
I think what would be an acceptable substitute is getting some of the composers that did the music for the show to get new music in the style it was.
Oh my god, hire Ron Jones, please.
Yes,
Give
the
him
one
work.
that wasn't he the one that was fired after season 3?
Yeah, for basically doing too good a job.
Yeah, that's you know, God, fucking Brandon Braga.
I think that was
douchebag.
Rick Berman that made that call.
It doesn't surprise
What's
me.
that? Tweedledee and Tweedledum? What?
But yeah, I have like a ton of game soundtracks and I just pull from them for like whatever music I need to fit the situation. I play a lot of Neverwinter Nights music when on like exploration planets because those themes were made for large wooded areas and like the twilight hours of some like faraway world, and they work very well. So you can basically just like find some like music. Like for example, like whenever I fight like the Borg Unimatrix ships, I like to play the battle at Tanis from like Homeworld 2, which also has an amazing soundtrack.
I just have like 100-hour endless loop of More Bounce to the Ounce.
I would say some stuff that actually work would be some of the old Emerson, Lake and Palmer live stuff because they were all classically trained musicians.
Mhm.
And that'd be some interesting music for some of the fights. I mean, plus you just gotta love the names of some of the stuff, like the enemy god dances with the black spirits.
Sorry. I almost said
Okay.
something naughty there. You could
Just
just go,
don't.
you could just go to YouTube and just like listen to a bunch of Nightwish while you play the game.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I would love to have some of the music from the Trek series, and definitely Ron Jones. Oh God, yes, bring him on as a composer, because he could actually give this music some life. Or hell, even the guy that did Mass Effect 1 and 2's theme would be amazing.
Jack Wall.
What about Ron Wasserman?
Yeah, I'd say they got much.
I just have like a bunch of
the-
90s
what
gut
about-
rock.
Or what about the one that? Or what about the one that went to Bungie along with Captain Logan?
Marty O'Donnell.
Yeah, God, wouldn't his music, even just a couple songs by him, not in the style of Halo, but his own genius as a composer, wouldn't it be great for this game?
I don't think Marty O'Donnell would be working for Cryptic.
Oh,
So.
I doubt it. He wouldn't. They couldn't afford him. Because you know that man makes...
and have every single piece of music sound the same.
That's true. But anyway, again, getting off on a tangent. Next subject?
All right, hang on. I'm going to refresh the capture file.
Okie dokie.